When you finally stop chasing and reclaim your energy, something powerful begins to shift. Not just in how she views you, but in how you view yourself. Most men waste their time pouring constant attention into a woman, thinking that persistence will win her over, but in reality, it has the opposite effect. When you're always available, always calling, always texting, always trying to impress, you strip away the very mystery and value that makes a woman want you in the first place. The truth is simple. People do not chase what they already have too easily. When you give yourself away without restraint, you teach her that she doesn't have to invest anything to keep you around. But when you pull that energy back, when you stop handing out your attention like it's free, you create a void. And nature abhors a vacuum. That empty space calls to her, and she begins to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're no longer at her fingertips. This is not about playing childish games. It's about respecting yourself enough to recognize that your time and energy are valuable. A masculine man understands that his focus is his greatest currency. If all of it is tied up in trying to win someone over, he becomes desperate, predictable, and replaceable. But the moment he reclaims that focus and redirects it inward, toward his health, his goals, his mission, he becomes magnetic. She begins to feel that shift without you saying a single word. Suddenly, she's the one checking her phone to see if you've messaged. She's the one replaying your last interaction, wondering why your energy feels different. She's the one chasing because now the balance of value has shifted back in your favor. It's important to understand that chasing never works because it signals a lack of options. When you chase too hard, you broadcast that she is your only source of happiness, that without her, you have no direction. That kind of energy repels attraction because no woman wants to carry the burden of being your entire purpose. When you stop chasing, however, you communicate the opposite, that you are whole on your own, that your life is already fulfilling, and that being with you is a privilege, not a necessity. That subtle difference changes everything. Now, she must step up to earn your attention instead of simply receiving it by default. Reclaiming your energy also restores your masculinity. Instead of feeling drained and frustrated, you start to feel centered and powerful again. You wake up with a sense of purpose because your days are no longer consumed with wondering what she's thinking or doing. That mental space becomes fuel for your growth. You hit the gym harder. You dive deeper into your work. You build new habits, and each step forward increases your self-respect. And women are drawn to that energy like moths to a flame. They can sense when a man is living for something bigger than them. And that sense of purpose is irresistible. When you stop chasing, you also give her the gift of missing you. Constant contact kills desire because there is no room for longing, no time for anticipation. But when you step back, when you let silence do its work, she begins to feel that ache of absence. And that ache is what drives her to call you, text you, and make the effort to close the gap you've created. She starts to wonder if she's losing your attention, and that fear awakens her desire to pursue you. The very act of reclaiming your energy flips the script and turns the chase around. So stop pouring yourself out like a man who has nothing else going on. Redirect that energy toward becoming the strongest version of yourself. When you do, you'll see that women naturally gravitate toward men who don't beg for attention, but command it through presence, purpose, and self-respect. That is the first step to making her chase you like crazy. Building unshakable confidence and purpose is the foundation of making a woman chase you, because attraction is never just about looks, money, or smooth words. It's about the energy you radiate when you know who you are and where you're going. Women are drawn to men who walk with certainty, who don't need external validation to feel important, and who live with a sense of mission that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. Confidence is magnetic because it communicates strength without words, and purpose is irresistible because it shows that your life has meaning beyond anyone's approval. When you combine these two qualities, you don't have to run after a woman. She will naturally want to be part of your world. The mistake most men make is that they place their entire sense of confidence in whether or not a woman accepts them. They wait for her text to feel valuable, they seek her attention to feel alive, and they beg for her validation to feel complete. That dependency weakens a man because it shifts his power outward instead of inward. True confidence begins when you stop outsourcing your worth and start realizing that it comes from within. It's built in the gym when you push yourself harder than yesterday. It's built in your career when you commit to excellence. It's built in your mindset when you choose discipline over excuses. And when you operate at that level, people can feel it without you saying a word. Women sense when a man is rooted in self-respect and self-belief, and that sensation makes them lean forward, curious to know more about him. Purpose is equally powerful because a man without purpose is like a ship with no compass. He drifts, he waits, and he hopes someone else will give his life direction. But a man with purpose moves like a leader, and leaders attract followers. When you dedicate yourself to a mission bigger than chasing women, you start to project an energy of strength that's impossible to ignore. It could be your career, your business, your craft, or even a personal passion that lights a fire inside you. Whatever it is, when you pursue it with intensity, women recognize that you are not dependent on their attention. You are focused on something greater. And that is when they begin to chase you, because deep down, every woman wants to feel like she's with a man who has direction, a man who knows where he's headed. Confidence and purpose also create stability. Women are naturally emotional beings, and they often test men to see if they can be grounded and secure no matter the storm. A man with no confidence wavers under pressure. A man without purpose collapses when challenged. But a man who knows his worth and his mission doesn't get shaken by small tests or disrespect. He stands firm. That kind of stability is rare, and because it is rare, it is highly attractive. Women are drawn to it instinctively because it gives them the feeling of safety and certainty they crave. When you radiate this energy, the dynamic changes. Instead of wondering how to get her attention, you'll find her fighting to keep yours. Instead of sending endless texts, you'll notice her checking in more often, eager to be noticed by you. Instead of chasing, you'll be pursued, because confidence and purpose flip the script. They shift you from seeking approval to commanding respect, from begging for affection to inspiring desire. So stop waiting for a woman to make you feel confident, and stop living without a mission. Build yourself, strengthen your mindset, and walk with the energy of a man who knows exactly who he is. When you do, you won't have to make her chase. You'll find that she does it naturally, because confidence and purpose are impossible to resist. Creating mystery and emotional tension is one of the most powerful ways to flip attraction in your favor, because nothing draws a woman in more than curiosity. The truth is, people value what they don't fully understand and desire what they can't easily predict. When you reveal everything too quickly, when you're constantly available, and when you make your entire world revolve around her, you remove the very spark that could make her chase you. Mystery is not about manipulation. It's about holding back just enough to let her imagination do the work. When she doesn't know everything about you, when she can't always predict your next move, she begins to think about you more. She wonders about you, and she invests her energy trying to figure you out. That investment is what makes her chase. Too many men believe that being completely transparent and overly accessible will make a woman feel secure and attracted, but the reality is it does the opposite. If she already knows every detail of your life, if she knows exactly where you are at all times, and if she can reach you instantly whenever she pleases, there's no space left for desire to grow. Attraction thrives in space. It thrives in the unknown. It thrives when she is left wondering what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're not at her fingertips like everyone else. That subtle uncertainty creates emotional tension, and that tension is what makes her pursue you. Mystery doesn't mean being dishonest or playing games. It means carrying yourself in a way that shows you have layers, that you have depth, that there is more to you than meets the eye. It means not posting every detail of your life on social media, not answering every text the second it comes in, and not sharing your every thought just to fill silence. It means allowing moments of quiet so she can reflect, so she can miss you, so she can lean in to learn more. This is why silence can sometimes be louder than words, because it makes her mind race, it makes her wonder what's on your mind, what you're doing, and why you aren't chasing like everyone else. That wonder pulls her closer. Emotional tension is also built when you learn how to balance availability with unpredictability. When you are always too easy, too eager, too consistent in giving all of yourself, she feels no challenge. But when sometimes you are there and sometimes you are focused on your own world, when sometimes you give attention and other times you pull it back, she feels compelled to close the gap. That unpredictability keeps her alert, keeps her engaged, and keeps her chasing. It's not about neglect, it's about balance. You reward her with attention when she earns it, but you also have no problem withholding it when you're focused on your priorities. That balance creates the spark that keeps her chasing. Women are emotional beings, and emotions are stirred by contrast. She can't feel the high of being close to you if she never experiences the low of missing you. She can't feel excitement if everything is predictable. She can't crave your presence if it's always guaranteed. Mystery and emotional tension are the tools that create those contrasts. They awaken her emotions, they engage her curiosity, and they make her invest her thoughts and energy into you. And the more she invests, the harder she chases. So don't be the man who gives everything away too quickly. Be the man who carries himself with quiet strength, who reveals his world slowly, and who leaves room for her imagination to work. When you create mystery and emotional tension, you don't have to chase, because she will be too busy chasing you. Rewarding respect and pulling away from disrespect is the ultimate principle that separates men who are truly in control of their lives from those who are endlessly trapped in chasing approval. A woman will always test where you stand. She may test your patience, your boundaries, or your standards, and how you respond in those moments defines whether she continues to invest in you or starts to take you for granted. A man who has mastered himself understands that respect is the foundation of any healthy connection, and the moment it is missing, the entire relationship begins to crumble. That's why he rewards respect with his time, attention, and presence, but he never tolerates consistent disrespect. He doesn't argue endlessly, he doesn't beg for change, and he doesn't try to prove his worth. Instead, he withdraws, he pulls his energy back, and he shows through his actions that his respect for himself will always come first. The reason this principle is so powerful is because it communicates value on a deep psychological level. When you make it clear that disrespect has consequences, you show that you are a man of standards. Most men do the opposite. They cling tighter when disrespected. They try harder. They plead for affection. And in doing so, they signal that their respect is cheap and their boundaries are weak. That behavior kills attraction because women can't admire or chase a man who doesn't even protect his own dignity. But when you calmly withdraw in the face of disrespect, without anger, without drama, you show strength. You teach her that being close to you is not guaranteed, that it must be earned, and that respect is the price of admission into your world. On the other side of that balance, when she shows genuine respect, effort, and appreciation, you make her feel valued. You reciprocate by giving her your presence, your attention, and your affection. This doesn't mean you shower her with gifts or validation. It means you meet respect with acknowledgement. You let her know that her effort is noticed, and you reinforce the behavior you want to see more of. This creates a healthy dynamic where she understands that her actions matter and that the only way to keep your attention is through consistent respect and contribution. This in turn fuels her desire to keep chasing because she knows that you are not a man who will settle for less than he deserves. Pulling away from disrespect also protects your energy. It keeps you from being drained by endless arguments, manipulations, or toxic behaviors. Instead of wasting time trying to fix someone else's attitude, you simply step back and refocus on your mission. That silence speaks volumes. It tells her that her behavior has no power over you, that you are not controlled by her emotions, and that you will not sacrifice your peace of mind for temporary validation. Many times, this very act of walking away causes a woman to reflect, to reconsider, and to chase back after the man she realizes she may be losing. Attraction cannot survive without respect. Desire cannot grow in the soil of entitlement. And no woman will truly chase a man she believes she can mistreat without consequence. By rewarding respect and pulling away from disrespect, you set the standard that makes her step up or step out. Either way, you remain in control because you never compromise your values for temporary attention. So remember, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If you want her to chase you, make respect the only path that leads to your presence.